Few seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage is a young man. I'm going to call him a young man that I met a few times. It was in D.C. at 9/11 event on the White House, Capitol lawn. I also met him down in Louisiana. He is running for Congress, and I've talked with him. I talked with him briefly, but many times though. And now I'm just happy to have him on the show. I'm talking about Colonel Rob Maness. What's up? How you doing, Colonel?
Hey, Wayne. Thanks for having me on. I'm doing great.
Colonel, I have my co-host on, Miss Angel Fleming.
How you doing, sir?
Hi, Angel. I'm doing great. How are you, Angel?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, Colonel, what's going on? What's going this is it now. This is it. You're trying to get into Congress now. You have a full. It's like you're full steam ahead. You're moving forward. What's going on down there in Louisiana?
Yeah, well, Senator David Vitter, our conservative senator, has decided he's going to retire.
Mm-hmm.
So his seat's going to be opened this year. And a week ago, we announced our candidacy for a campaign for that seat. And we think that our candidacy is going to be the strongest competitor in the race. You may remember we have the jungle primary down here.
Yeah, that is a weird.
Each other.
Right. Yep. Yeah. You know what? And I'm glad that you brought that up. Why don't you explain what the jungle primary is? Because, ladies and gentlemen, you've never heard of anything like this before. So, Colonel, take it away.
On November 8th, as we go to vote in the general election for the presidency and those kind of offices, in Louisiana, we'll be running what's called an open primary. It's nicknamed the jungle primary on the same day. And that is every candidate that's running stands against each other regardless of party. You don't have to be registered as one particular party to vote for another party's candidate. It's all pretty much mix and match. And if one person gets over 50% plus one of the vote, they win outright. But that's unlikely. And what will really happen is the top two vote getters will go to a runoff on December 11th.
Now, correct me.
That's where.
No, go ahead.
Now, that's where we come in. Because
Mm-hmm.
you may recall that I ran against Mary Landrieu in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
We came in a really strong third, got over 200,000 votes across the state. We pulled in from conservative Republicans, conservative Democrats, Libertarians, Independents across the board. And we kept Mary Landrieu from winning, and then Dr. Bill Cassidy went on to win in the runoff as a Republican. But we've kept that base alive. It was a unique base. They were primarily new Republican voters that voted for me. So we think our 14% of the vote base is really strong and solid, and we're going to build on that. So when we have a lot of candidates in the race, that 14% is our starting point for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, of all the folks that we've seen in the latest polling, we have the second highest name ID around the state.
Right.
And that includes up against current congressmen, current state treasurers, former governor candidates from 2015. We have the second highest favorability rating, and we're in a really prime position to move forward and take this seat.
Okay.
And is that the reason that you're inspired to give it a go one more time, that name recognition is higher and the momentum is building?
Well, the starting point is much better than we did the first time. We have a very wide path to victory this time as opposed to a very narrow one the first time.
Right.
But the real reason is that, this is, we had momentum as an outsider the last time, but that momentum is even greater this time. I think that's what you see when you see the Trumps of the world doing so well in the presidential race.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhat even Senator Cruz is still considered an outsider by a lot of folks. Plus, I've got a proven track record as a fighter. Served in the military for 32 and a half years,
right.
And I've got a proven record in the real world of leadership, real-world leadership. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And, an outsider, a real fighter, a proven track record of real-world leadership, that's what the American people and people of Louisiana are looking for. They don't want people that have come up in the career ladder of politics because we've been sending those folks to Washington and keeping them there, and they failed us, regardless of the party. And that's why I'm running, is because America's weaker than it's ever been in my lifetime. And it's time for us to get strong again and lead in the world. Because when we don't lead, the world's on fire, and it is on fire. When we do lead, I've lived through the Cold War, and when we do lead and we maintain our strength, the world is not on fire. No, you can't do away with all wars and those kinds of things, but you can certainly keep it to a minimum by being strong and be a leader in the world, and a leader for liberty, and a leader for freedom, and a leader for peace. And second, we've got to make ourselves secure at home. We're not secure here. Look, I was in the Pentagon on 9/11, and I know what it's like to be attacked by terrorists. I know what the families in the communities around San Bernardino, California, that were attacked by the Islamic jihadist extremists a few weeks ago. I know what they feel like. My family knows what they feel like. And we're not happy that our country continues to not be secure even after all these years of war and fighting and sacrifices by military families and military members for all these years. Right. It's ridiculous, and we've got to secure our borders and enforce our immigration laws.
Now,
it's absolutely dumb.
That was actually going to be my next question. Being from a southern state like Louisiana, care to comment on the most recent statement about Border Patrol agents claiming that we should just abolish all immigration laws because it's that ridiculous right now on the southern border?
Well, those Border Patrol agents should be asked to resign immediately, and we replace them with folks that are willing to protect the United States of America.
Right.
Because if we don't enforce our border laws and we don't start rolling up some of these illegal aliens that are coming in and enforcing our laws on them, the American soil is going to become a much more dangerous place, and it already is a dangerous place to begin with. Because of the Islamic jihadist extremists that are coming into our country through various means, not just the border. It's the whole system. Right. You know, the female militant that attacked in San Bernardino came in through a marriage. Okay, and the young man, the husband, was already a citizen here. So it's not just the border; it's the entire system. We've got to enforce our laws. I agree with the senators that have put the bill forward. Unfortunately, it failed, but to put the bill forward to pause refugee flow and immigration flow from the countries where the Islamic State has a presence until we can figure out a better process that actually can work, especially Syria, where we have no human intelligence on the ground to vet folks. And we can find somewhere else to place them, but we don't need to bringing them into the United States of America until we have the ability to confirm whether they're the enemy or not.
Mm-hmm. How is your ground game right now? As we know, Donald Trump in Iowa brought in large crowds, but Ted Cruz's ground game, he had been there a little bit longer, was tremendous. How is your ground game, get out the vote, I'm looking right now?
Of the 4 declared and 3 or 4 undeclared, actually it's 5 declared now, a Democrat woman declared today. Of the 5 declared candidates, I'm the one that has a ground game and has had a ground game throughout this past year. We took our campaign team and reorganized it into a super PAC group of activists around the state called Gator PAC. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Yeah, I sure do.
But we kept the organization growing. We gave them training. We trained 100 or so new activists to add to the organization, and it continues to grow today. And we used that organization to help conservative candidates get elected. We helped the new lieutenant governor get elected, the new attorney general. And by the way, yesterday we got the endorsement of Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, the senior ranking elected Republican official in the state.
Okay.
And we're very proud and grateful for that endorsement, which is a dramatic change. As you remember, the party folks were not too enamored with me, even though I've been a lifelong Republican the last time. But we built a lot of goodwill by helping conservatives get elected. We got 3 conservative women elected to the Senate and the House at the state level, and they're political outsiders. You know, the Attorney General is Jeff Landry, who is a Tea Party conservative in the House of Representatives. lost his seat in a redistricting fight, and now he's going to be one of the best attorney generals, if not the best attorney generals in the United States. He's already had an impact and broke up a corruption ring and a bribery ring in Lafayette, Louisiana, just the other day.
Wow.
So we're very pleased with that, and that means that from the days before we announced, we prepped our team and we let everybody know what was going on. And the day we announced, we got them all together, had a big rally, and gave a great speech and recorded it, put it out on social media. And now that team is out and continuing to work. And by the way, they're helping presidential candidates too.
That's exciting.
And so they're getting experience in that as they work for the presidential candidates, they'll be operating for our team too.
Well, just so like I said
I'm the only
yesterday,
candidate that's got a ground game.
Okay.
Like I said yesterday on the show, and I say all the time, it really doesn't matter who the president is in 2016 if we don't have a secure Congress. We need a secure Congress that understands the Constitution, is willing to fight for liberty. Otherwise, we're sunk. Mm-hmm. If everybody focuses on, commander-in-chief for 2016, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because if we don't get some of these incumbents out and ensure those seats with true conservative, liberty-minded people, we're sunk. The war is lost. Colonel, how can people support you? Where can they find you on social media? Where can they reach out to you? Give us your Twitter handle and things like that.
You can find us on Twitter at Rob Maness. That's ROBMANESS. And same thing on the web. It's www.robmaness.com. And on Facebook, we're Colonel Rob Maness, retired, R-E-T, after the last name. And it's got about 205,000 fans on the page now and continues to grow.
Nice.
We're very proud of that. We've got a great reach. And we're excited about that. Help us out on Twitter. We're getting close to 5,000 followers, and they're all real followers.
Awesome.
Stuff. So go to Twitter and follow us on Twitter and get the most recent updates. I mean, it's updated almost hourly some days.
Okay, beautiful.
And hey, when you're done doing your job in the Senate, you always have a job in radio, because my goodness, you sound exactly like John Wayne. I could listen to you talk all day long. I could listen to you talk all day long.
But what we need is people that will go to the United States Senate that have my qualifications. I spent 32 years in the military. I started out at the lowest rank and retired as a full colonel. I commanded as a colonel and as a lieutenant colonel in peace and war. I'm a Harvard University Kennedy School trained and U.S. Naval War College graduate in strategy, international relations, and foreign policy. And the United States Senate duties and responsibilities and powers under the Constitution are designed for a person with my qualifications, and nobody else is going to have those qualifications in this race. And that's what America needs, is people that will go up there and not pay attention to what some majority leader says, but pay attention to what's in the Constitution and what they told the people that voted them in would do. And that's why I admire a lot of, some of the senators that we've gotten in there recently are able to do that for the most part. And I really admire those folks for doing that. And then we need to be able to do that from the first minute we walk into the place.
Okay.
Well, Godspeed,
all right, Colonel. Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Angel. I appreciate it.
We'll be chatting with you again soon.
RobManess.com.
Beautiful.
We appreciate that.
You bet. Anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Lieutenant Colonel Rob Maness out of Louisiana. We're going to have him back on again to keep up with what he's doing.
Impressive resume, thothough.
Yeah, no, he's got the goods.
What?
he has got the goods. Believe me, he has got the goods. I want to talk about a couple of these audio clips that I picked up earlier today, and I want.